My most humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Lord, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. Sai Ram to all. Today's story is about how I got interested to support children and pay for their education. Swami had told me many years ago that it is one of the greatest gifts after Daanam to give Vidya Daanam. So I decided that when the opportunity came, I will see how Swami gets me into this line. One day I had gone to Bukkapattanam, where the registration office is, to get some of my property registered. While I was sitting in the car and the papers were getting ready, a few small school children came up to the car. In those days, these children, whenever they saw people from outside, they would come and ask for pens and chocolates and whatnot. Unfortunately, I didn't have anything in my hand at that time. And after a few minutes, most of the children walked away. But there was one little boy, very cute looking. He stood near the car and started talking to me in little broken English and Telugu. Of course, I knew Telugu by this time. So I asked him his name. He said his name was Mahesh and he was going to a government school there. He was in the 4th standard. And he told me all his family history. He said his father was a laborer. They didn't have much money. But since the government school gave basic education, he wanted to study. So I told him, you do one thing, you come with your father to my Sai Plaza, meet me in my office and I will see what I can do for you. A few days later, this Mahesh came with his father and met me in my office. So I spoke to his father and I told him, you do one thing, you put him in a private school where, I will be willing to pay the fees and take care of his books and requirement. But I said I have a condition that you must bring me the receipt of the school fees paid, and also every 6 months you must come and meet me with Mahesh so that I see his progress in school. They agreed to this and then got him admitted in a private school in near Bukkapattanam. He would come every 6 months. I paid the fees and he did very well in school. He got good marks in his exams, and this went on for a few years. When this boy reached high school, that year his father came and told me that, Amma, if you would pay for his education, then I would like to send him to a private school, boarding school in Hindupur. He will get good education and he will be able to concentrate on his studies. So I said, fine, find out everything and come back to me. So he came a few days later and he told me the fee structure, the boarding fees and everything, the books, all the requirement, uniform, clothes, etc. because he is going to a boarding school. So I agreed and I paid the fees, and Mahesh started going to this very good school in Hindupur. The beautiful thing about Mahesh was that he was so studious, so interested in his studies. He stood first in all his subjects. He was really an excellent student. So this went on until he finished his 10th standard. And then by this time I got busy with my orphanage and school and all that. And somehow we lost touch. Many years later, one day I had gone for bhajan and I was sitting behind the mandir in front of South Prashanti. At this time, the road in front of the South Prashanti goes all the way to the shopping center, and people were going back and forth on that small road. While I was sitting there on the step, a group of boys were passing by, and one of them, they were like in their 20s, grown-up boys. One of them kept turning and looking back at me, and so finally I thought, he must be somebody who either studied in my school or somebody who knows me. So when he turned one more time to look at me, I just smiled at him. Immediately he came back and came up to me and touched my feet and he said, Amma, do you remember me? I am Mahesh, that boy from Bukkapattanam. You put me through school and I studied very well. And then I asked him, what are you doing now? He said, Amma, with your blessings and Swami's grace, I got admission into IIT, one of the most prestigious colleges in India, where only the brilliant, the cream of students get admission there. So he had done so well in his studies and written the exams, and he studied in IIT and he had passed out of there. He was already placed in a foreign company, and in a few months he said that he was going to go to US after getting this job. I was so happy hearing this, and I had tears in my eyes, and I thought, imagine what Swami said. Anybody, everybody can afford to educate one child. It is not such a big amount, to put a child through school. Because I remembered Swami's words, when you give education to a poor child, he will never be a beggar on the street. Nobody can steal his knowledge. And this was how Swami got me started into building my school and the orphanage in the later years. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please share with other devotees. Swami bless you all. Om Shri Sai Ram.